Get ready to put your happy faces on whilst you listening to The Grumble from musterxmedia, a place you can be happy whilst being a miserable bastard. If you're easily offended, this podcast is not for you, but if you're not, enjoy! I'm going to be a real miserable old bastard today on this one. I can just feel it. So what is it with women, or even kids these days, you know, all these soy-loving douchebags who don't know fuck all. You know, what is wrong with people? They don't know how to maintain their own equipment. So women and even soy douchebags just don't know how to maintain their own equipment, and it really pisses me off. So here's the problem. The car that I bought my missus, because I don't drive, but she does. I bought her the car. So when Little come along, she's not on public transport, because she had to sell her car when she went to work on the ship where we met. And years later, she comes home pregnant, so I thought, okay, right, I'll get her a car. And a few years of owning the car passed, and it's developed an electrical fault when she went to jump start the car the wrong way around and blew all the power relays. But that wasn't the fault, that got fixed. There happens to be a power drain in there. So when we took it down to the car electrician, he's like, well, I can fix it, but it'll be cheaper to buy a new car. So I'm like, okay, right, well, here's the solution then, because we don't drive the car all the time and we can't keep the battery topped up whilst sat in the car. As it runs low on power, we just rip it out and put it on charge and put it back in. It's simple as. So I said to the missus the last time that it was time to get the battery out. Okay, right, go and get the car battery out. Oh, I don't know how to do it. I'm like, how long have you been fucking driving for? Oh, 15 years. I'm like, so you've never pulled a battery out of your car in 15 years? No, someone else has only ever done it for me. What? Okay, right. Do you know, actually, so go on, just let's get you on how to do this, yeah? Simple as, okay, pop the bonnet. Oh, I don't know how to. I'm like, what the fuck do you mean you don't know how to? How long have you had this car for? 5 years. 5 fucking years, yeah? You don't know how to pop the bonnet after owning the car for 5 fucking years. And I'm like, okay, right. That explained the reason why the engine nearly went bang the other year. She looked at me and like, you know, when you forgot to tell me to put some more oil in the engine, I'll top up the coolant. And all we could smell was burning. And I'm like, diagnosing it. I'm like, when's the last time you put the oil in? Well, I thought you were going to do it. Was the answer she gave me, which really annoyed me because she cooked the engine nearly right off the fucking car. Women, eh? I digress. So I'm like, okay, right. Here is how you pop the bonnet. You pull this lever here by your foot when you're sat down. So I pull the lever and the bonnet just pops open. I'm like, okay, right. Go on then, do the rest. Open it up for us and put the bar on the hood. And she's there trying to lift the bonnet for ages. And it's not going anywhere, and I can see her struggling. I'm like, pull the clip that's come out at the front. She looked at me. She looked at me like I just swore at her, which I didn't at that point, I have to say. I'm like, you do know there's a safety catch on there that you have to pull it out so you can then lift the bonnet. So she's like, no, where is it? I'm like, it's that black thing that's just come out when I put the bonnet from the driver's controls. She's looking all around and like, for God's sake. So I showed her where the release mechanism is in the front. I'm like, there you go, open it up. Why can't you do it for me? And I just turned to her and said, look, what if you needed to pop this out and I'm not here, so I'm away for work, or heaven forbid that I'm dead, yeah? You're still going to have to bloody do it whilst you still got this car. Now you're going to bloody do this, okay? It's not that difficult. Just pull the catch, lift the bonnet up and prop it up. So I watch her pull the lever, lift the bonnet, and then she puts the support rod in the wrong place. And it nearly comes down, crashing down on her head, which I managed to grab in time before any damage was done. I'm like, right, this is where it goes. See that notch? It goes in there. She was giving me some real dirty looks at this point. Right, here's the spanner. See the battery? Yes, I see the battery. I'm not stupid, you know, she said to me. I'm like, okay, right, here's a spanner. Adjust it, and you spin it anti-clockwise on both the connectors. And see that one down by the side? That's what keeps the battery mounted into the cradle, and that goes anti-clockwise as well to get it off. So she takes the spanner off me and starts turning it clockwise. I'm like, that's clockwise, love. She huffed and puffed. Well, I didn't know. I'm like, yeah, you do know. Clockwise or anti-clockwise. Clockwise tightens, anti-clockwise unloosens. Fair enough if you didn't know that before I told you, but I told you, spin it clockwise. Yeah, but I don't know what direction it goes in. Yes, you do. The direction the hands of the clock goes is clockwise, and the direction where it's not going round, it goes, which is the other way, that's anti-clockwise. Yeah? Tighten, clockwise. Untighten, anti-clockwise. It's that simple. So out of frustration, she got the spanner and smacks the engine. I'm like, don't do that, in case you break part of the engine. She gave me another dirty look. So, well, come on. You've been driving for 15 years and you don't know the basics. You wouldn't pass your test now because they test you. I'm sure they test you on shit like this, on basic maintenance. So eventually she unhooks the positive and negative, and it took her about 20 minutes to get the cradle securing bolt out. And she gave me a real dirty look because her hands are now covered in black from touching around the engine and whatnot. And her new nails, her new nicely polished nails, are all scratched up. And I had a bit of a dirty smirk on me, and she gave me a good old dig to the fucking balls, which I was not happy with, to say the least. I'm like, okay, right, now you can pop that handle up and just pull the battery out, but before you do that, check the oil whilst we're here. And she gave me the most miserablest and dirtiest look ever. I don't know how. And I'm like, well, hold the fuck up. Yeah? After the last time when you nearly blew the engine up, I showed you how to do this. Yeah? You know how to do this because I showed you how to do this. Check the fucking oil whilst we're here, because it needs to be checked. Because, let me guess, last time I checked it was when you nearly blew it up, and that was ages ago. So come on, check the oil. So she did, and it was dangerously low again. I'm like, fuck you, you've done this again. So like, in the boot of the car is a pot of oil, just go and get it. I would fill it up just to get it done, yeah? So I just topped up the engine oil, piece of piss. I just wanted to make a point. But then I get hated upon. I get hated upon because she now thinks that I think that she's thick. And she's not thick, she just didn't bloody listen to me the last time. That's all it's about. So, engine oil's all nicely topped up. Like, okay, right, take the battery and take it out of the car. We'll lock it up, and jobs are good, and we'll put it on charge, and I'll show you how to put it on charge. So she goes to lift it up, and it nearly drops it onto her bloody toes. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Well, I didn't expect it to be heavy, she said. I'm like, why do you think it's going to be light? It's a big car. This car weighs nearly 2 tons. So the battery for a vehicle that's going to weigh nearly 2 tons, it's going to have a bit of meat behind it, okay? She looked at me and like, oh, don't look at me. Pick up the fucking battery and take it in. And she's like, well, why can't you do it? We're here now. Come on. I'm like, right. That defeats the object, yeah? The point of the exercise is for you to do it. So by you doing it at least once with me with you, you will then know how to do it if you have to do it when I'm not here, because you've physically done it, okay? It's no good me showing you how to do it because you're going to forget. How about you physically do it so you can turn around and say, yeah, I've done it, I know how to do it. No, instead I get hated upon. So I'm like, okay, right, I'll pick up the fucking battery, shall I? Right, close the hood. So she manages to close the hood perfectly herself. That's absolutely fine. Okay, lock the door. So she goes to lock the door, and only the driver's side locks. She's like, why is the rest not working? And I looked at her. I'm like, are you for real, love? She looked at me. I'm like, why do you think why the rest of them are not locking with yours? And she just couldn't understand. She couldn't get it. I could see the hamster in the hamster wheel just turning. It's because there's no fucking power in the car. We've taken the battery. You have to physically go around and lock every door manually, okay? So she goes, manually locks every single door with a huff each time she does it, and slamming the door as hard as she can. She didn't speak to me for the rest of the day because she was that pissed off with me. And it's like, well, hold on. You're supposed to be doing this. You are the one who's supposed to be doing this, not me. I'm supposed to have showed you so you know how to do it, but you don't remember how to do stuff. It's as simple as that. So that is my grumble. It's always me that has to do all the stuff, and I don't even drive. It's me that goes and checks the tyre pressure. It's me that has to go and check the oil and the water level, and I don't fucking drive. It's me that says, hold up, why are you driving on fumes? Because she doesn't want to put the money in the tank, and when she does fill up, it's like only a £5 or even a tenner if she's wants to stretch it. I like, fill it up to the top, and it's always an argument over filling it up to the fucking top, eh? Because she would rather run the tank down to nothing than when she uses like a £5 or a tenner like she would normally do, just top it up so you've always got a full tank. And every fucking time she has a go at me. Why do you do this? Blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, well, one fucking second, love. 1 fucking second. So you don't run out of fuel? What if there's a fuel strike? Because I lived through one of those myself. What if the EU decide they're going to block the fucking ports because the French are having their period? Yeah? What if, for example, oil production in Saudi Arabia or the Arab world gets disrupted by terrorism? Yeah? You still need fuel to drive the car. So always have a full fucking tank. Use a quarter of it by all means, and then top it back up. It's much better to use your weekly spend to get a full tank than to use your weekly spend to get just barely a quarter of a tank. What's the point? It really annoys me. It really fucking annoys me. And the bottom line is, women, you're gonna say, oh, you're being misogynist now. But I just turn around and say, look, how many women that are listening to this, you think I'm a fucking arsehole, a misogynistic arsehole? How many of you women know how to pop the battery out and then whack it on charge? How many women that are listening to this thinking that I'm a prick knows how to check the tyre pressure or the oil level or the coolant level or the basic maintenance of the car? And I would put money on a handful. Yes, there'll be a handful that are savvy women, and I respect them women, but I do not respect the women who will not even entertain the idea of checking over their car, especially when I bought them that car. If a woman bought me a hairdryer, which I wouldn't use anyways because I ain't got long hair, I'd look after that hairdryer. If a woman bought me anything, yeah, I'd look after it, I'd cherish it and look after it. So why can't women look after the stuff that I would get them? Especially when they're an expensive piece of hardware, like a car. Think about that, eh? Think about that. If you like this podcast, we have another one called A Tribute to Men That Hate Their Jobs. This is an over-dramatised story channel where the narrator gets into daily mishaps in a job that he hates. The link is in the description. In addition, we also have a YouTube channel called The X Review, where I review and react to music videos. The link is also in the description. You can also follow us on Facebook. Just search for musterxmedia. And until next time, guys, bye for now.